Hi everyone, I'm Waz Mazhar, student of BCSI at International University. Today I'm going to talk about drone technology as a part of research assigned by our lecturer Mr. Zul Hilmi Abdullah. It will include general applications, common terms and definitions, history and background and evolution, and how emerging commercial off-the-shelf or COTS technology have started from military to provide breakthroughs in the commercial and hobbyist drone sectors. So let's start with introduction to drone technology. Prior to the turn of this century, unmanned aerial systems used in the United States were largely restricted to military and federal government missions. As hobbyist drones and quadcopters become more affordable in the international marketplace, the challenge has been sharing the national and international airspace in order to permit new commercial and emerging management drone applications. Let's have a look at history and how drones evolve over the time. Remotely piloted aircraft (RP) had a very significant learning curve. Early examples were always crashing, so it was a pretty difficult endeavor to make happen. As a result, it took a very long time to have really reliable system. RPS go back to really the beginning of 20th century, and for the first 30 years RPS and guided missiles were really the same thing. During World War I, British, American, French, Germans were looking at something they could use to attack ships or land-based targets. And then in 1930s, now that aircraft are flying higher and faster, shooting them down really gets to be a difficult challenge. So they need realistic targets, and one way to do that is by having a remote controlled aircraft these gunners could shoot at. In World War II, they kind of go back to the idea of turning full-size airplanes into weapons again. The USA is using what they call war-weary bombers. So bombers that had flown so many missions, so they weren't safe to fly with humans anymore. They put radio control equipment in it, packed full of it explosive, and then flew them against hardened targets in France and Holland. Now on the eve of Cuban Missile Crisis, they are starting to look at using these for reconnaissance platforms. That is realization that there is a lot of communist held territory that would be very dangerous to fly over. There is an awareness that U-2 for all its attributes is not going to be invulnerable for very long because the Soviets are developing service to air missile systems. They wanted to have something where they didn't have to put a human pilot at risk, so they started using these target drones, putting bigger wings on them, putting autopilots on them, making a lot more sophisticated. In the mid 1990s, the birth of Predator, that thing had really changed. One of the problems they realized early on was that it was very easy for Predator to get into a position where mountain might block the line of sight to the control aircraft or ground station. And so there was a big push to put satellite data links onto them. In 1919, there was another problem that was realized that it was great if Predator could spot a tank column in the field, but then if you're going to tuck an attack aircraft onto it like an A-10, it didn't work very well. In early 2001, this aircraft was mounted with the AGM-114 Hellfire missile, a laser-guided weapon system, and that gave it an attack capability. This was really a kind of milestone. Not only was it used to develop a new method of warfare that has really become dominant over the last 17 years, but it was also really the first to truly demonstrate that capability in the field. So we are talking about something that still has a pilot, but pilot is not in the aircraft. Why I have chosen drone technology for my research? The one of the bigger reason goes back to 2010. We're watching a movie where a evil genius taken over the current city with the help of his custom-built drone army. In that movie, drones were shown doing many different tasks which were seem like cartoonish or just ideas that time from available to combat to act like pets. Use the drones to create fireworks to project the visual images on the screen. The technology, like as drones, has become a need, especially after pandemic, and many businesses and industries are adopting it for their day-to-day operations. Getting sensors to their best of use, whether it be a medical industry, delivery, agriculture, firefighting, fireworks, photography, space exploration, sea exploration, land surveys, and many, many more. Now let's talk about the application of drone technology in commercial industry. UAS are incredibly versatile pieces of technology. For example, this one, iconic USA, the DJI Phantom series, is used by amateurs and experts worldwide in vast array of practical applications. The Phantom series drones features a camera mounted to a 3-axis gimbal which stabilizes the camera's images as the drone flies through the air. This produces high cinematic videography for both professionals and amateur use. The same camera and aerial perspective is used by farmers to increase the efficiency with which they can scout crops and monitor yields. Similarly, ranchers utilize these airborne cameras to monitor livestock. Forestry and land management department use them to conduct censuses and mitigate animal poachers. The DJI Phantom is also used in military training operations to enhance situational awareness and to increase service member confidence when piloting larger platforms. The later Phantom series drones also come with advanced features such as automated mission planning and waypoint navigation, which allow pilots to pre-program flight paths or scanning operations. Professionals also find new and innovative ways to use UAS to advance research missions through remote sensing or sampling payloads, such as this simple water sampling device. Similarly, emergency response professionals use UAS to locate stranded individuals and deliver them necessary supplies. All of these are only some examples of what a single commercial off-the-shelf or COTS UAS platform can accomplish. Now let's move on to framework of drone technology. Here we will discuss about various components of COTS drones and how they fly. There are 10 primary components of a quadcopter: a frame, 4 motors, 4 propellers, 4 electronic speed controllers, 1 voltage regulator and also called a power distribution board, 1 electronic flight controller, 1 battery, 1 wireless communication link, 1 onboard camera and a ground-based controller. COTS quadcopter come into a variety of shapes and sizes, but they generally share these essential design components. With this exception of ground-based controller, all of core components of a quadcopter are mounted to its frame. In this case, the frame is made of lightweight, super strong carbon fiber like modern golf clubs and fishing rods. Brushless DC motors are attached to end of each of the 4 parts of the frame in a quadcopter. 2 of the 4 motors spin clockwise, mounted across from one another, while the other 2 motors spin counterclockwise. Once propellers are attached to functional quadcopter, the opposing forces of the rotation blades stabilize the flight in vehicle. The motors on each arm of the frame are effective at spinning propellers, but they can only be controlled with the assistance of a special control device called an electronic speed controller or ESC. Each motor requires its own ESC, which allows motor to make fine-tuned adjustments in rotation, velocity. Every component on a quadcopter requires power to run. Ultimately, this vehicle will be powered by a battery, and each component will need a draw and sufficient amount of power from battery to keep it airborne. This role of the power distribution board or PDP. This PDP is a voltage regulator which converts the onboard battery power into a multiple voltages needed by the motor and various other electronic components. All of the components that require power on the quadcopter are connected to the PDP. Illustrated here are through soldered connections. If the PTP is the heart of the quadcopter distributing power throughout the system, then the electronic flight controller is the brain of the flight controller. Sometimes referred to as flight control board, is an essential computer programmed to translate commands from a ground-based controller station into instruction that each ESC can understand. The ESCs then have access to desired speed for each motor. A quality flight controller has features that make it possible for the vehicle to self-stabilize in flight and navigate point to point using a built-in GPS. The vehicle then can be pre-programmed for autonomous operations. The 4 commercial UAS requirements: endurance, speed, range and altitude. Endurance means how long a drone can fly, the speed and range, and how high it can go in the air. In this section, we are going to discuss the advantages of drone technology. The advantages of drone technology are too many to count, but let's go through some of the important ones. Many business giants like Amazon, DHL have started to use their drones for deliveries within their warehouses as well as deliver items to the customers. Replacement of human by drones saves much of the manpower, increased reachability and speed of the delivery by avoiding road traffic. They can be pretty useful, especially in the delivery over shorter distances. Drones being equipped with night vision with thermal sensors makes drones very helpful in search and rescue operations, especially in tough terrains and harsh conditions. Drones can easily help in searching location and rescuing people, whether it to be war, disaster drones, or can be helpful in delivery supplies and arms. Drones are being huge helping hand in the field of agriculture, not just to spray pesticides, but that can also help farmers to monitor their crops. Drones can be equipped with sensors which can detect the health of particular crops and even themselves can start spraying insecticides or pesticides on the affected area. According to Newsweek, within few years, almost 80% of agriculture market will be based on drones. Drones allows us to study the wildlife closely without disrupting them despite of it being the day or night. Using different sensors and high quality cameras, drones are being frontline defender of animals who are primarily target of poachers, hence saving the wildlife. Drones are able to scan public and detect symptoms of coronavirus. Being 40 feet higher in the ground, drones can use thermal sensors to detect the temperature of human and from the posture of the person can detect if the person is sneezing or sniffing or coughing. With the rise of drone technology, there also come some concerns and safety and security issues. One of the major issues is public safety. If drone lost its connectivity with the controller, it can fall down from the sky and can cause serious harms and injury to a person it crashes into. Drones may also hit the buildings. Having inexperienced pilot, drone can also hit other drones and cause most or loss of money, lives, and damages to the property. The privacy concern is another big issue when it comes to drone technology, with almost every drone carrying a camera, making people feeling sense of fear and breach to their privacy. And so far, there are no clear rules and regulations available to address the privacy concerns. The drones can be considered as flying laptops, and laptops can be hacked. So does the drones, which can cause serious security and safety concerns. And hijacked drones could be used for illegal activities, and the confidential data can be also stolen from there. Hence, most of the safety and security concerns and disadvantages becoming major barrier for the drone technology. Social effects, where drones were for almost 60 to 70 years only used for military purposes, so whenever people see a drone, it gives them a sense of fear. Additionally, drones carrying a camera and recording everything, hence majority of people consider it breach of their privacy, and it's one of the biggest issue which affecting its adaptation into commercial market. Drones being threat to our secure airspace. If drones fly higher, they can cause disruption and even accidents to aircrafts. Unless there is a airspace system for drones integrated with the current airspace, it will be harder to use drones and commercial level widely, as there can be accidents. Authorities Authorities making rules and regulations regarding the use of drones by having these very strict rules in different countries affecting the drone market for the both commercial and hobbyist drones. Now let's talk about the emerging drone technology and what future it holds. One exciting new development in UAV technology is the emergence of hybrid rotary fixed wing designs. These are sometimes referred to as a tilt rotor aircraft. Hybrid rotary fixed wing designs combine the endurance of a fixed wing UAV with the maneuverability of quadcopters and other rotary drones. The most significant feature of these hybrid designs is that they allow otherwise fixed wing UAVs to take off and land vertically. This capability is sometimes referred to by the acronym VTOL, meaning vertical takeoff and landing. VTOL is a highly desirable capability in fixed-wing UAVs due to the alternative methods of launching and landing these aircraft. Hybrid VTOL UAVs can launch and land as easily as a quadcopter, thereby enabling a wide array of capability and operations. One societal change that is occurring today that seems to be following the same path are the feelings surrounding the rise and use of unmanned aircraft systems or UASs. For many, their only experience with these vehicles comes from the media reports about them being used by the military for intelligence gathering and defense. Those images, coupled with privacy and safety concerns, is causing some to fear using them back here at home. However, many on the front lines of UAS revolution see tremendous advantages by using these devices in civil applications such as farming, package delivery, wildfire detection, border security, and numerous other uses. Only time, lawmakers, and public opinion will answer the broader societal questions. But one thing is for sure, the technical challenges surrounding these vehicles need to be answered now. Once these vehicles begin to fly regularly in the world, they clearly must be able to work within our current commercial airspace in a safe and integrated way. To make this happen, the world's largest aeronautical organization, NASA, is developing the framework and lay the groundwork for integration into our space. Drones, the name nowadays commonly referred to unmanned aerial vehicles, are gaining popularity day by day. According to CNBC report, the drone market going to hit $100 billion soon, and by 2040 it will be industry of 1.6 trillion US dollars. This huge evolution in the drone technology for commercial and consumer markets, especially in last 9 years, especially because of availability of commercial off-the-shelf COTS technology to the market. Drones has capability to infuse with different technologies, hence the technology are growing, so do the capabilities of the drone. Hence its application in commercial and hobbyist industry. Despite of the drones offering huge number of opportunities to military, government, commercial and consumer market, but still there are many concerns in the public about the use of the drones. One of the biggest is the breach of the privacy. When high quality drones flying over the people houses or heads, it gives the sense of fear and lack of privacy. However, drone technology is the future of warfare, a must part of country's defense. Where there is risk of human life, drone can do work for the humans, saving tons of life. Future drones will be able to provide lot of services with better design, technology and lesser nuisance. They will be accepted into the society. The use of artificial intelligence and advanced algorithms, making inexpensive small drones working together to perform huge tasks previously were only possible by huge and expensive drones. The future of drone technology will bring advances not seen by the world yet. I am Moz Mazhar and thank you for watching the video.